Hey guys, Zach Dunbar here, and this is going to be my Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2 review. All I can say is, man, this episode was so much fun, and it was great seeing these characters back having a party, and we got to see Eagly be a savage, which is something I got excited about since I saw the trailer for Season 2. The episode begins with Peacemaker trying to get rid of the body of the Peacemaker from the other universe, having a difficult time, but don't worry, he gets Vigilante in on it and they all end up cutting up the body, which I thought was really brutal. And RIP Peacemaker from the other universe. It kind of sucks that they decide to kill him off right away instead of having him around for a few more episodes. But this way we have the Chris from our universe being able to blend into the other universe, and we're probably going to see him hook up with Hardcore pretty soon. Which I'm excited to see the Peacemaker from this universe and the Hardcore from the other universe, because from the look on his phone, they've had a pretty serious relationship, but Chris from our universe has no idea who the other Hardcore is. But she seems close enough to our own Hardcore, so yeah, you never know. Love is a weird thing. I love the character of Hardcore, so there being two Hardcores, I say bring it on, James Gunn. So far, James Gunn's been killing it with Season 2. I'm excited to see as the season unfolds. We get to see Peacemaker, his father, and brother be a superhero team, which I'm really excited to see, because this isn't his father from our universe. He's not a racist piece of shit. This guy, so far we see it in that his father's very loving and a different kind of white dragon than the one that we've saw. This is a very different white dragon than the one that we saw last season. I'm sure James Gunn will handle multiverse fine. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Multiverse can be a tricky thing when it comes to comic book movies and TV shows, but James Gunn, I have complete faith in him. So far, he's done a great job with Peacemaker Season 2. It's one of his favorite projects he's ever worked on, apparently. I'm starting to see it. He loves Peacemaker, he loves John Cena, and he loves his wife, so I'm sure that he has a romance story that will work perfectly fine for this season. And yeah, I'm curious to see how Chris juggles there being two Hardcores, one from our universe and one from the other universe. We've been seeing a little bit of romance stir up between him and our own Hardcore, but the one from the other universe, the look on his face when he's searching on the phone, he's starting to get pretty interested in the Hardcore that he already has a serious relationship with. Well, the Chris from that universe, anyway. Are his father and brother going to find out that he murdered their own Chris? I don't know. I have a feeling that sooner or later they'll have to find out. But right now, I think it's safe to say that Chris is going to have no problem blending into their own universe until they find out the truth. We got to see Rick Flag Sr. reading over the pages of his son's death, which I found really weird how they even got his last words were Peacemaker, what a joke. Because the only one in the room were him and Peacemaker, so I highly doubt that Peacemaker told him what his final words were, but it's not a plot hole, it's just something I found a little weird. So far, I've been liking Mark Grillo as Rick Flag Sr. I've liked him in the Creature Commando show. I liked him in Superman. We didn't get a whole lot of him in Superman, but so far he's been killing it as Rick Flag Sr. He really has, and I'm curious to see what more what happens between him and Peacemaker, because he already has a reason to hate Peacemaker. He murdered his son, but I'm curious to see how the season unfolds. This episode did a lot of setup, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that in a positive way. This episode did a great job setting up things that we're going to be eventually seeing in the later episodes. And it did a good job. It was just alright, so right now, these guys are out, they're having fun, they're having a party. And while the villains, well, not really villains, but the team that was sent to Peacemaker's house to scout around and figure out what the hell's up with that portal is, unfortunately, they got thwarted by Eagly, and this was the most hardcore thing Eagly's ever done. He massacred the team of, I don't really know the name of the team, I'm just calling them the team of idiots, led by the one guy who I can't remember the actor's name, but he's a funny comedian, and having Eagly basically massacre the entire team, pulled out a guy's eyeball, I never thought I'd say this, but Eagly is starting to become my favorite character in Peacemaker. He's an absolute fucking savage. And this episode proved it. I looked up his name, it was Tim Meadows. I loved every scene that he was in this episode, and I loved the team that he assembled. I called him the team of idiots earlier, but that was a little mean of me. I loved them, but little did they know that they'd be fucking with a savage eagle. So, damn, bird blindness. I loved it, and I hope to see more of him this season. So yeah, he had a nice party scene while Eagly was massacring those weird soldiers that got sent to his house. Hey, it was a fun time. It was a good episode. It's not my favorite episode of Peacemaker, but it's certainly a strong one. And it does a great job setting up what we're going to eventually be seeing later in the season. And yeah, those are my quick thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2. Loved it. I'm excited to see what more they do with the characters this season. And yeah, don't fuck with Eagly. Like and subscribe to my channel for more, and take care, guys.